Portland is the largest city in the U.S. state of Maine and the county seat of Cumberland County. In 2013, the city prop had a population of 66,318, growing 3% since the census of 2000, while the urban area had a population of 203,914. The Greater Portland metropolitan area is home to over 500,000 people, more than one-third of Maine's total population. Tourists visit Portland's historic Old Port District along Portland Harbor, at the mouth of the Fall River and part of Casco Bay, and the Arts District, which runs along Congress Street in the center of the city. Portland Headlight is located in nearby Cape Elizabeth and marks the entrance to Portland Harbor. The city seal depicts a phoenix rising from ashes, which aligns with the city's motto, Resurgam, Latin for, I will rise again. The motto refers to Portland's recoveries from four devastating fires. The city of Portland, Oregon, was named for Portland, Maine. Portland Public Schools is the largest school system in Maine, serving more than 7,000 students. With about 230 restaurants, Portland's per capita restaurant density ranks among the top cities in the United States. History. Native Americans originally called the Portland Peninsula Makigon. The first European settler was Captain Christopher Leavitt, an English naval captain granted 6,000 acres in 1623 to found a settlement in Casco Bay. A member of the Council for New England and agent for Ferdinando Gorges, Leavitt built a stone house where he left a company of 10 men. Then returned to England and wrote a book about his voyage to drum up support for the settlement. The settlement failed, and the fate of Leavitt's colonists is unknown. The explorer sailed from England to the Massachusetts Bay Colony to meet John Winthrop in 1630, but never returned to Maine. Fort Leavitt in the harbor is named for him. The peninsula was first permanently settled in 1632 as a fishing and trading village named Casco. When the Massachusetts Bay Colony took over Casco Bay in 1658, the town's name changed again to Falmouth. In 1676, the village was destroyed by the Abenaki during King Philip's War. It was rebuilt. During King William's War, a raiding party of French and native allies attacked and largely destroyed it again in the Battle of Fort Loyal. On October 18, 1775, Falmouth was burned in the Revolution by the Royal Navy under command of Captain Henry Mowat. Following the war, a section of Falmouth called the Neck developed as a commercial port and began to grow rapidly as a shipping center. In 1786, the citizens of Falmouth formed a separate town in Falmouth Neck and named it Portland, after the isle off the coast of Dorset, England. Portland's economy was greatly stressed by the Embargo Act of 1807, which ended in 1809, and the War of 1812, which ended in 1815. In 1820, Maine became a state with Portland as its capital. In 1832, the capital was moved north to Augusta. In 1851, Maine led the nation by passing the first state law prohibiting the sale of alcohol except for medicinal, mechanical or manufacturing purposes. The law subsequently became known as the Maine Law, as 18 states quickly followed. On June 2, 1855, the Portland Rum Riot occurred. On June 26, 1863, a Confederate raiding party led by Captain Charles Reed entered the harbor at Portland and the Battle of Portland Harbor ensued, one of the northernmost battles of the Civil War. The 1866 Great Fire of Portland, Maine of July 4, 1866, ignited during the Independence Day celebration, destroyed most of the commercial buildings in the city, half the churches and hundreds of homes. More than 10,000 people were left homeless. In 1853, upon completion of the Grand Trunk Railway to Montreal, Portland became the primary I-free winter seaport for Canadian exports. The Portland Company manufactured more than 600 19th-century steam locomotives. Portland became a 20th-century rail hub as 5 additional rail lines merged into Portland Terminal Company in 1911. Following nationalization of the Grand Trunk system in 1923, Canadian export traffic was diverted from Portland to Halifax, Nova Scotia, causing marked local economic decline. In the 20th century, icebreakers later enabled ships to reach Montreal in winter, drastically reducing Portland's role as a winter port for Canada. The construction of the Maine Mall, an indoor shopping center established in the suburb of South Portland during the 1970s, economically depressed downtown Portland. The trend reversed when tourists and new businesses started revitalizing the old seaport, locally known as the Old Port. Since the 1990s, the historically industrial Bayside neighborhood saw rapid development. The emerging Harbourside Ocean Gateway neighborhood at the base of Munjoy Hill, the Maine College of Arts, has been a revitalizing force downtown, attracting students from around the country. The historic Porteous building on Congress Street was restored by the college. Geography and climate. According to the United States Census Bureau, the city has a total area of 69.44 square miles, of which 21.31 square miles is land and 48.13 square miles is water. Portland is on a peninsula in Casco Bay on the Gulf of Maine and the Atlantic Ocean. Portland borders South Portland, Westbrook, and Falmouth. The city is located at 43.66713 N, 70.20717 W. Portland has a humid continental climate, with rather cold, snowy winters, and warm, occasionally almost hot, summers. The monthly daily average temperature ranges from 22.3 degrees Fahrenheit in January to 69.1 degrees Fahrenheit in July. Daily high temperatures reach or exceed 90 degrees Fahrenheit on only 4.6 days per year on average, while cold season lows of 0 degrees Fahrenheit or below are reached on 7.7 nights per year on average. The area can be affected by severe nor'easters during winter, with high winds and snowfall totals. Annual precipitation averages 47.2 inches and is plentiful year-round, but with a slightly drier summer, snowfall averages 61.9 inches. In coastal Maine, winter season mid-latitude storms can be intense from November to March, while warm-season thunderstorms are markedly less frequent than in the Midwestern, Mid-Atlantic, and southeastern U.S. Direct strikes by hurricanes or tropical storms are rare, partially due to the normally cooler Atlantic waters off the Maine coast, but primarily because most tropical systems approaching or reaching 40 degrees north latitude recurve, carrying most such storms well south and east of the Portland area. Extremes range from -39 degrees Fahrenheit on February 16, 1943 to 103 degrees Fahrenheit on July 4, 1911 and August 2, 1975. Neighborhoods. Portland is organized into neighborhoods generally recognized by residents, but they have no legal or political authority. In many cases, city signs identify neighborhoods or intersections. Most city neighborhoods have a local association, which usually maintains ongoing relations of varying degrees with the city government on issues affecting the neighborhood. On March 8, 1899, Portland annexed the neighboring city of Deering. Deering neighborhoods now comprise the northern and eastern sections of the city before the merger. Portland's Deering High School was formerly the public high school for Deering. Portland's neighborhoods include the Arts District, Bayside, Bradley's Corner, Cushing's Island, Deering Center, Deering Highlands, Downtown, East Deering, East Bayside, East End, Easton Cemetery, Great Diamond Island, Highlands, Kennedy Park, Libby Town, Little Diamond Island, Luntz Corner, Morrell's Corner, Munjoy Hill, Nasson's Corner, North Deering, Oakdale, the Old Port, Parkside, Peaks Island, Riverton Park, Rosemont, Stroudwater, the West End, and Woodford's Corner. Demographics. 2010 census. As of the census of 2010, there were 66,194 people, 30,725 households, and 13,324 families residing in the city. The population density was 3,106.2 inhabitants per square mile. There were 33,836 housing units at an average density of 1,587.8 per square mile. The racial makeup of the city was 85.0% white, down from 96.6% in 1990, 7.1% African American, 0.5% Amerindian, 3.5% Asian, 1.2% from other races, and 2.7% from two or more races. Hispanic or Latino of any race were 3.0% of the population. 40.7% of the population had a bachelor's degree or higher. Men's Health ranked Portland the 9th most educated city in America. There were 30,725 households, of which 20.7% had children under the age of 18 living with them. 29.7% were married couples living together. 10.1% had a female householder with no husband present, 3.6% had a male householder with no wife present, and 56.6% were non-families. 40.5% of all households were made up of individuals, and 11.4% had someone living there alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.07 and the average family size was 2.88. The median age in the city was 36.7 years. 17.1% of residents were under the age of 18, 11.4% were between the ages of 18 and 24, 33.1% were from 25 to 44, 25.9% were from 45 to 64, and 12.6% were 65 years of age or older. The gender makeup of the city was 48.8% male and 51.2% female. 2000 census. As of the census of 2000, there were 64,250 people, 29,714 households, and 13,549 families residing in the city. The population density was 3,029.2 people per square mile. There were 31,862 housing units at an average density of 1,502.2 per square mile. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, Portland's immediate metropolitan area ranked 147th in the nation in 2000 with a population of 243,537, while the Portland, South Portland, Biddeford metropolitan area included 487,568 total inhabitants. This has increased to an estimated 513,102 inhabitants as of 2007. Much of this increase in population has been due to growth in the city's southern and western suburbs. The racial makeup of the city was 91.27% white, 2.59% African American, 0.47% Native American, 3.08% Asian, 0.06% Pacific Islander, 0.67% from other races, and 1.86% from two or more races. Hispanic or Latino of any race were 1.52% of the population. The largest ancestries include British, Irish, French, German, and Italian. There were 29,714 households, out of which 21.4% had children under the age of 18 living with them, 32.1% were married couples living together, 10.5% had a female householder with no husband present, and 54.4% were non-families. 40.1% of all households were made up of individuals, and 11.5% had someone living there alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.08 and the average family size was 2.89. In the city, the population was spread out with 18.8% under the age of 18, 10.7% from 18 to 24, 36.1% from 25 to 44, 20.6% from 45 to 64, and 13.9% who were 65 years of age or older. The median age was 36 years. For every 100 females there were 91.8 males. For every 100 females age 18 and over, there were 89.0 males. The median income for a household in the city was $35,650, and the median income for a family was $48,763. Males had a median income of $31,828 versus $27,173 for females. The per capita income for the city was $22,698. About 9.7% of families and 14.1% of the population were below the poverty line, including 12.5% of those under age 18 and 11.9% of those age 65 or over. Economy. Portland has become Maine's economic capital because the city has Maine's largest port, largest population, and is close to Boston. Over the years, the local economy has shifted from fishing, manufacturing and agriculture towards a more service-based economy. Most national financial services organizations such as Bank of America and KeyBank base their main operations in Portland. Unum, Magellan Petroleum, Maine Bank and Trust, Mutual Corp., and Pioneer Telephone have headquarters here, and Portland's neighboring cities of South Portland, Westbrook and Scarborough provide homes for other corporations. Since 1867, Burnham and Morrill Co., maker of B&M baked beans, has had its main plant in Portland. The plant is considered a local and state landmark. Portland has a low unemployment level when compared to national and state averages, 2.9% in October 2015. Portland and surrounding communities also have higher median incomes than most other Maine communities. The Portland-Montreal Pipeline, a crude oil pipeline that stretches from South Portland to Montreal, was a major contributing factor in these rankings. Portland is home to increased urban farming, particularly in the East Bayside neighborhood.